Hello, I'm Jane and I'm coming to you from my studio here in Sheffield. I've got an unusual question for you today. What does Frankenstein have in common with quilting? It might seem a strange question, but the answer will be very obvious when I show it to you. So when you think of Frankenstein, he's this mythical creature from a novel, the subject of many films, and you will see that a lot of the scars are created by zigzags, and it's those zigzags that are going to be relevant in this conversation. Come over to my work table and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so in quilting groups this term is quite often in relation to using up wadding, and the reason why is you've got lots of scraps of wadding and you want a bigger piece. We can Frankenstein them together. See, I've got the zigzag stitch here and it's just joining all of these pieces together. These ones I've done with a thread so that you can see it on the camera. These will blend in with fabrics unless I'm using a very light see-through fabric. These won't notice at all. Now these joins as well, you won't notice them once it's in between a quilt, and with the quilting on it will still do its job, but it just means that we don't waste our wadding. We can get the use out of as much of our wadding as we can. So I spent some time this week sorting out my wadding scraps. I've got a big tub full of them. Quite a lot of them are just narrow strips that I've cut off the side of quilts. As they are, they're not very usable. So I'll show you how we prepare it. So just put that beside one. We'll just lay that out so you can see where I've started joining this one together. Just cut off a piece here that I've used. So what I'm going to do is just lay that. You can see this isn't very straight, so I'm just going to lay that on top of the wadding. So where it comes here, I'm just going to trim that off so it's the same length, makes it easier. I'm going to get my long ruler, and from where it is there to where it meets down the bottom, I'm going to cut that so both sides, the top and the bottom, end up with a straight edge that will mirror each other. I'm going to take that to the machine and I'm going to flip it over and add this piece to there. So what I'm going to do now is pop this over to the machine and I'm going to add this on. So the machine is set up with the zigzag that you would normally use on stretch fabric. So it is stitched along all the zigzags. It just takes more stitches to follow the line, just makes it that little bit more secure. Got the walking foot on my machine. Because it's thin cotton wadding, it doesn't really need to be the walking foot, but this is the way it was set up and it works just as well. Making sure that the seam runs down the middle and that the pieces are butted up together. And as I'm going, I'm just guiding it to make sure that the join is in the centre. And as you can see, when it's butted up together, you can't really see where that join is. It's only that stitching line that's going to give that away. And I'm going to go down the length. So there we go. I've run out of thread, but you get the idea. I need to redo my bobbin. So I would go down, all the way down, and that will be joined, and I continue to make that up into a big piece like those that you've seen. Those pieces now are in usable sizes that I can use. Great for cushions, And if you need to, you can make them as big as you need, but it just means that all those offcuts now have a usable life. Now all these bits of thread and fabric I will be picking off before I use it. And sandwich it as normal, use your quilting, and everything will be as stable as you would expect it to be. So there you see. So it's not really a monster of a piece of wadding, it's making it into something that is usable, and we're going to be able to have as little waste as we possibly can. I hope you found that useful, and the next time you see in a quilting group about asking the question, have you Frankensteined your offcuts, you know exactly what they mean. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the bell and get notifications of when new hints and tips are available, and I look forward to speaking to you very soon. In the meantime, take care.